Oh, good evening, my viewers. It's Friday evening and the video will be posted in the morning. First, I would like to say thank you to my viewer, Mary Comfort. Thank you so much. You sent me before the beautiful cards and I already shared them with family and friends as like communication notes, and I gave a lot of the half of the pile I gave to Tracy, so she was very happy to use them as well, especially on the Easter time I was using them. And then it's blessed water I got, and rosary. Thank you so much, Mary Comfort. And very similar picture, statue I was painting for restoring for our church in Red Deer over 2 years ago. It makes me feel so good, and Mary said that Saint Mary wants me to have this, so I'm so glad. Thank you. And happy Memorial Day weekend, not yet day, but the weekend. So enjoy a long weekend now. Still deepest condolences to everyone who was affected by any shootings in USA. The good guys are not going to do anything to prevent more drama. I'm very upset. I don't even want to go that way. And I will start answering your questions. For whoever is new on my channel, I see pictures as an answers, and then I have to figure out what they mean. Okay, Salem, yeah, Yarma, sorry. Please adjust the camera so we can see the cards. I think now you can see the cards. You will see the cards. And I don't see them. I usually put them this way so I don't, and there are no marks on them or anything, so, and I'm not even looking when I'm picking them up. But another one, Sheila Clank. I noticed that when you pick the 3 cards, you don't look at them, and yet you know what cards they are. I see them like in the mirror because my camera is showing me a picture so I can see myself in front. So when I'm looking this way, I can see the cards, so I don't have to turn them upside down. So that's not any trick, it's just, and I'm picking the cards without looking at them. And usually I want to pull from 3 different places, so you don't think that I'm somehow cheating or whatever. And they just let me know where they want to be, and so I will be. And I'm using cards just for confirmation, whatever I have seen before. And thank you, my guides, my guys. Ami 1. Will Jered Kushner get away with his corrupt $2 billion business deal with Saudi? It's like the vision that I had, it's like he's coming home and he's trying to close the door, but someone is holding the door from the other side and pulling, and he can't get inside, and he's struggling, and one leg is inside, another is outside. So I don't think he will completely be able to make a closure on that business. There will be he will be probably attacked by the government and ask why he has those deals. $2 billion don't walk on the street, so he had to give Saudis something for something, not that on his beautiful eyes. So will he be kind of charged for whatever he did? Well, he was doing great job, mostly for himself and Trump. King of love. He loved Trump that time, and he thinks the grass will be greener with Saudis. So he was actually probably working more for Saudis than for Americans. So he doesn't have the clean hands, and that will have to be proven. And he will feel vulnerable because when we feel attack in the doorway, that will be very uncomfortable for him. Well, he is probably well prepared how to protect himself, but I didn't saw any bodyguard there, so it was like he was struggling. Terra 999. Are the rumors about Chinese President Xi true, that he had a brain bleeding or aneurysm? And I was checking on Google a lot from the 15th to 17th of May. So many news about that. So there was something that he had, maybe small stroke or even bigger, and he doesn't want to go for operation. They are treating him with homeopathic medicine. So that's, and I have to do the vision because, okay. It's like for the circle, to be a lion in the circle, and you have to jump through the hula hoop, which is in the fire. He feels that he will have to retrain his brain maybe to be more adjustable. I don't know how to read that one. That's the reason I'm preparing the answers in advance, because sometimes I don't have too much time. I have less than 30 minutes to make the video because my device will stop. He will have to go for operation no matter what. The symbol of man with sword. He has extreme headaches probably, and mentally even he might have problems. So eventually he will do good choices and he will go for some operation. Roxanne, what is Elon Musk going to do with Twitter? And I saw him closing the book halfway. Not that he read the whole book, and it's looking like he wants to close that. He doesn't want to buy it anymore. And I saw him standing on the top, no, not him, the priest, putting someone in a grave. So I think he is feeling that there is a battle ahead of him, and he has to close the book, and he doesn't want to buy anymore the Twitter. That's my feeling. What is Elon Musk going to do with? Yeah, the legal battle. He will have to have the little battle, shaky tower. Oh, that will cost him some money. And the family, that's the Twitter. All the people are like a huge family. They will suffer as well because of that. I think the Twitter will lose the value because of him jeopardizing the thing. Ami1 is the questionnaire. 4 days ago, Trump sent out a message calling for civil war. Will Merrick Garland get out of his bottom and indict him now? And I saw Garland looking this way, that way, looking for something that he didn't lost, feeling confused, feeling unsure. Is that the freedom of the speech or what? How can I put him in a problematic situation? So I don't know if he will be able to charge him. Or maybe he's working, but confused. He has to make that decision. eventually it will be added and it will be a new paragraph in Trump's life. So I think he's collecting all the informations from the previous. I don't think he will just go after one item. He wants to collect. You collect this, you collect this. Maybe that's the reason his head was running like crazy this way and that way. Joanne Renton, she don't understand that some Americans are not okay for an abortion, but okay to kill children who are alive already. It's not making any sense. And I agree with you. It doesn't make sense because some kind of. And I ask myself how in the future the shooters and in stores and schools can be stopped. Is there any way that people can get protection in those buildings, that they can, in the churches, name it, and everywhere you have those shooters. And I saw symbol of, like on a stage, they can create some smoke. Maybe that will be that, the schools will have to have that place where they can create smoke, or even crying gas. I thought if I will be sending my child to school in USA, I will give him, I had 2 boys, I will give them the bear spray for bears. If every child will have that, they will have a weapon. I'm not for weaponizing, but it's not that will kill anyone. It will make them cry and it will make them confused and so on. So that's just my digression. When I closed my eyes, I saw that smoke coming from the ceiling and from the floor. So it was like foggy things. It's just idea. I'm not a scientist, but that's what I saw, that they have to figure out something that might make the attacker sleepy or vulnerable or paralyzed for a few minutes. That will be enough, just for 1 minute. That will be enough for people to be safe. Just crazy psychic idea, but maybe there is some way out of that drama, because you can't believe that GOP will do anything, or the people who control guns. Neptune's other daughter and Teresa are thinking that Putin might be gone. They want me to look at him. He had some operations, probably. I see him like a goldfish in the aquarium, and the goldfish will come to the end of the water and thinking like eating or breathing. So he might be short of breath. That's my kind of translation of my vision. But the operation, I think, went well. Nothing was wrong, but he is having some other problems, like they are connected to his leg and chaining him on the chain, so he can't do everything what he wants. The world will know if he is gone. So it's not that he is confused. He is vulnerable right now and he can't make too many decisions. So he is asking for help from the doctors to negotiate with them. Well, I need to work, so help me to look like I'm okay. They are probably giving him transfusion from young teenagers, kids. That was known in Russia for years. Brezhnev was always taking every few weeks transfusion from young men, under 18 even, to just boost his immune system. And those kids were checked. If they don't have any illnesses, they were perfectly healthy. And they were blood donors just for Brezhnev. That was in the 60s, or I don't know when he died, but that's what I was hearing, that what they were doing this. I was a kid, and I thought, how scary this is for those young kids to always be pumped from the blood. Joanne Cooks, will there ever be a ban on owning assault weapons? And I saw humongous doors, and they are made out of metal. And they want to close them, but they are rusting, stiff, and men are pushing, trying to close them. They can't. There is still narrow path that everyone can go through it, maybe squeeze through that path. If they don't want to obey the rules, there are no way that they can close them. So many guns are already on the market, so many people owns them, and no one is going to be so nice and give them back. Amy Wan, will Ginny Thomas be questioned by the January 6th committee? I saw her being called for interrogation, but she first will have to go through the stadium, and on the arena there is a boxing place for boxing, and she is ready with the boxing gloves waiting for a fight. So there will be really hard to and the goblet was fell down on the floor. Goblet is a symbol of success, cheering for something, but it was laying on the side, so half empty goblet. I think that will mean that her husband will be in trouble as well. And so I will pull 3 cards to know more about Ginny Thomas. Yeah, in Polish it's Virginia, and in Polish we call her Vicky, so I was calling her Vicky, but it's different. The goblet, I said that moment ago. For a while she will be celebrating. So this is the goblet that she thinks she can celebrate her freedom. There will be juggling, problem of up and down. She will be on and off. So she will have a lot of stress when you are juggling with money. But it's usually coming and going up, so it's not a bad card. But eventually she will be put behind the wall, feeling that she don't have any friends. It is I can't bring this closer, sorry, because I have the microphone for this one, and on the laptop you can't even see the cards. So it's and on the laptop I can do live stream. On this one I can't do live streams. Every device is different, but it looks like she will be 9 of Wands, out of abilities to make any influence on anyone. She will feel like she's outsider, so no one will be joining her club anymore. And I will now do the remedies. And the one that I brought today, it's stinging NATO. And I was pulling this they are still stinging. When I came from work, so 5:30 probably, I pulled them to this moment, and it's 10 o'clock. I can still feel the stinging in my fingers. Don't worry about the stinging. It's actually very healthy as long as you are not allergic to it. Most people are not, because that weed was around people for so many centuries and the animals loves that, especially if you have chickens. They love it. They will have a beautiful eggs. because it has a lot of calcium in it and iron. So that's something that in Poland the farmers will be feeding the chickens with it. But you can make a tea. You can add as many as this to the tea, but you can make a much stronger, and it's hypoallergenic. And if you, it's itchy. The stinging is itchy, but that's okay. As long as you don't scratch too much, it will go away. And my husband is going every couple days and touching them on his elbows or on his knees, because he has some problem with swelling or pain. So it helps him. He is far better than many years ago when he didn't use that. So he is doing well. And if you have allergies, this is great. If you have allergies like runny nose and coughing, that's what I'm talking about, those allergies. Problem with urinating, wonderful idea to drink that tea. Joint pains, that's what I was talking about, my husband. High sugar in blood, that will lower the sugar. And infections, especially in the bladder infections. So some people might have the allergy, so you have to be. And it's great for, the stinging is great for rheumatism as a bee stinging. Some people are going and paying quite a good money to be stung by bee, and that one is painful, but it works. So, few sessions, 3-4 sessions in a season, that's not bad for people to do it. As well, you can dry the stinging nettle. It will stay for the winter. You can make teas all the time, and it boosts your immune system as well. So I'm advising you, and it's available apparently everywhere. If it's available in Red Deer, it took me a while to find them, but when we found it, we were very happy. And you can actually cut this in small pieces, put in a jar, but you will have to invest some money in very high quality alcohol. The one that you can drink, and it's for making like when you are pouring this, it will make a medical component. It will be a medically tincturous. So, it is something that you can do it for yourself and put this for a few months, and it will be a great thing. And since I have a few more minutes, I can tell you the one that I was preparing for tomorrow, but I will say this today, for Sunday, that you can. My mother was giving me and my first younger brother, not the second, but the first brother, who is 3.5 years younger, she was giving us the root from white lilac. And it has to be root from that. It has to be carved specifically, because a long time ago, like centuries ago, the kid will be teething, but there was no suitors made out of rubber. So we were all over Poland. The old ladies were, not old, young mothers were using this to give to the babies. And I was chewing on it, and then she will be putting this in the boiled water and reusing this and reusing. And then my brother was chewing on the same suitor after, being cooked, and she gave to him. But when my second younger brother was born, it was 14 years difference. Somehow the suitor disappeared. And me and my first brother, we have strong teeth. The one brother, his teeth are strong, but they were growing very crooked way. And so in Poland that time, the medical system was is still by the government, so they didn't want to have problems with teeth when we are growing up. So the dentists were putting him a bracelet when he was 7 years old, when the teeth were still growing, and he had braces. Not that he likes to wear them, and that was a problem. And when Leszek was showing the first teeth when he was 7 years old, and I saw how crooked they were, I thought, oh gosh, he will suffer a lot of problems because of that. So I took him to a dentist in Canada, and I said, please put him a braces. And he said, no, he's too young to put the braces. I said, I know in Poland my brother was wearing braces, and I'm really asking you to make a research, because I think it will be more beneficial now than later when he is 15 and so on. Of course, when he will be 15, the braces are not as reliable, because people need to go to readjust sometimes to put the braces again and again. And the later in the life, it's much harder to straighten the teeth. But the first teeth are really easy to straighten. So my dentist, he's a Chinese doctor, and very nice. I still have him. And he said, okay, Violetta, I will do it for you. And actually it cost only $600, which was a lot for us that time, but not 15,000 or 5,000. And Leszek's teeth are like a movie star. Perfect. So, I noticed that that's something that it's worth for you even to fight for when your grandchildren or your children are getting a little bit crooked teeth. Ask the dentist to do it this early. The prices are much cheaper because they can put them in the night only, and they don't have to wear them in the morning. My younger one was more rebellion, and he didn't wear them all the time. So yes, his teeth are not as perfect as Leszek's. So please make sure that it's worth it to know that the bracelet they can wear much early, because my niece was wearing them later on, and she had to go once in a few years to readjust somehow that, because her teeth were strong, and it's really hard to do this. And for teenagers, it's much harder than for younger kids. That will be for advice from me. Home remedies. And I want to pray for peace on the earth, for some miracles that the GOP will start understanding that the way they are acting is not helping anyone, that they are making everyone vulnerable. Whoever is going to the church or whenever you are going, you feel vulnerable, so they have to protect, they have to start making some rules, much hardening the rules of getting guns, and for peace on the earth, for health to everyone, excuse me, for good, that good will win the bad. See you next time. Sunday evening, I hope I will be able to make video because the guys will be making our fence. So I don't know how long they will be waiting, if I will be able to upweight them. See you next time, and all the best to everyone. And have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.